What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer, and this is my review for Isaiah Rashad's album, Cilvia Demo. Now I know I'm really beyond late with this album review because it came out near the end of January, but I think this is one of the greatest albums this year, so even though I missed it, I want to make sure that I do a review for this, as well as some of the other albums that I missed, such as Pinata and Black History Project. So if you don't know who Isaiah Rashad is, he's an artist signed to TDE along with Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, J-Rock, and SZA. I'm not sure if they have some other people on their label. I know those are their main acts. There might be some other people on there. You can let me know in the comments if there is, if I missed anybody. But let's get into this review. It's not going to be a track by track because there's just so much I could say about every track. So I'm just going to focus on some of the main points that I noticed on this album. The album opens up with Hereditary, which has a bit of a disappointing beat to me. I find that it's kind of weird and eerie and panicky, but lyrically Isaiah Rashad sets the tone for this album. It's about how he got a lot of his negative behavior and also some of his personal issues from his father, hence the song being called Hereditary. And even though I didn't like the beat that much, I thought this was a great way to kick the album off because it shows you that Isaiah Rashad is not afraid to get personal and talk about personal issues, social issues, and things that actually matter, not just money, hoes, bitches, money, cash, hoes, dollar signs, etc., etc. Isaiah mentions his father again on a couple songs, including Soliloquoy. Or is it Soliloquy? I know people get on my case all the time in my reviews because I mispronounce things. Maybe it's my Canadian accent, or maybe I'm an idiot, or maybe it's a mix of both, but whatever. I didn't finish high school. Deal with it. These are just some music reviews. This is also the track that has the infamous line, "Don't put me on the cover, I'll be posing with lunch." And that was a bit of a knock to XXL and how they have their freshman cover every year. But oddly enough, Isaiah Rashad made the freshman cover later on this year, so kind of weird how that worked out. Isaiah's realness continues on the track Webbie Flow, in brackets, you like. There are some awkward lyrics on this track, like when he says, "Baby, can you sucky on my dick, I know it's big enough," but the whole song's not like that, so don't let that little intro throw you off. The beat has a bit of a neo-soul or J Dilla feel to it, and I like the lyrical content on there because Isaiah Rashad raps about how becoming a father has changed him, and he also raps about how he has inspired some of the local MCs to get out of their monotonous part-time jobs in order to become a rapper because that's the road that he went down and he made it. All in all, this track has a very smooth vibe to it, and so does the title track, Cilvia Demo. This beat has an incredibly soulful sound to it, mainly because of the vocal sample, and the hook is bound to get people singing along. The content on the title track isn't as deep as it is on some of the other tracks, but Isaiah still does a great job of gliding over the beat with ease and creating a great ride-along track. Now onto the track that is one of my favorite tracks of the year. It's called Rest in Peace Kevin Miller, and if you don't know who Kevin Miller is the brother of C Murder, Master P, and Silk the Shocker, and he was murdered many years ago. On the hook, it's just, "You live for bitches and blunts, we live for weed and money," and that sounds pretty basic, but it ties into the overall feel of the track because it's called Rest in Peace Kevin Miller, and that hook is taken from one of Master P's old songs, Weed and Money. It's a classic Master P track. The first verse is great because Isaiah shows his respect to many Southern legends such as Master P, Big Boy, and Pimp C, and I really find the line, "Free Goo Wop if he in jail," funny because the way Isaiah spits it is so matter-of-fact. It's like Gucci Mane is in and out of jail so often. Free him if he's in there. Like, you could listen to this song and hear that line 30 years from now, and Gucci Mane might be in jail, because that's what Gucci does. He goes into jail, and he goes out of jail all the time. So I thought that was kind of a cool line that touched on how Gucci Mane does that. Isaiah also touches on police brutality on this song, and in one of my favorite lines, he says, "I used to think my ambition was a scheme, I defy 'em. You can too, if you get up off your ass and fucking try it." Just the way that he spits that with the extra energy on the vocals, especially the last part, it really hits me every time. And the vocals on the whole track are great. I really like the way that Isaiah's vocals cut through, and I like how the backup vocals have a bit of grit to them and they add to the overall sound, almost giving it a bit of a Master P sound, that vintage Master P sound. As for the beat, it makes use of some solid bass and some deep piano keys. Really creates another ride-along vibe, sort of like the title track Cilvia Demo, but you could chill to this, you could enjoy it to your headphones. It's just a very versatile track that I think will work in a lot of situations. Isaiah references Southern legends on other tracks as well, like on the track Brad Jordan, which, if you didn't know, Brad Jordan is the rapper Scarface's government name. This is a cool track where Isaiah and Michael Da Vinci spit over what sounds like a 90s Outkast beat, which is fitting since the chorus makes reference to the ATLiens album. Ronnie Drake, featuring SZA, who always adds a unique element with her voice, is a really cool and laid-back track. The beat has a drowsy boom-bap feel to it, and the black and white video really adds to that feel. The basic hook might turn some people off and come across as a bit shallow, but the verses are great because Isaiah is touching on a lot of issues from racial profiling to police brutality. And that's what I like about this album. Isaiah is able to mix great messages, his unique vocals, strong lyrics, and banging beats all together, and he even throws catchy hooks in there. I just find the whole project is very balanced. It's a complete package. SZA is also featured on the track West Savannah, and I think this one is definitely a love it or hate it type of track, but I personally love it. It's a mellow and catchy, simple love song that has a hazy and almost dreamlike type of beat. I really like the line on here about the idea of falling in love with each other instead of the idea of suicide. I thought that just adds a great feel to the song. It kind of has that us against the world type of feel to it. And it speaks on how love can bring two people together and help them get over the depression or other issues that they might have. And on the topic of TDE features, Shot You Down features J-Rock and Schoolboy Q, who both bring really hard verses that touch on their gangsta past. And Isaiah Rashad's verse is great too, as he touches on his past and some of the things that he went through coming up. What I like about this track is how all three MCs hold their own. Like, nobody on this sounds weak. They all bring the bars. And they sound great over the sample from the Tower of Power song. It's a fluty sample. The next track I'm going to touch on is Modest. This has a video for it, and the beat kind of sounds like a Clams Casino production because it makes use of 808s and eerie sounding chimes. Or bells, chimes, bells, I don't know the exact instrument. It's actually produced by Chris Caller, and this beat is a monster for your car, especially if you got a good stereo system. I just got a 99 Sunfire, and it still bangs in there, but if you got a banging system, you could do some damage with this one. And I really like the line where Isaiah Rashad is talking about how his girl's kind of annoying because she always has something to say, like Larry David. That just stuck out to me because I'm a pretty big Curb Your Enthusiasm fan. Thought it was pretty good. If you're not a Curb fan, you don't get that, and I look like an idiot. If you are a Curb fan, you get it, and I probably still look like an idiot, but you get it, and you appreciate it, I hope. Lastly, the song Heavenly Father, which also has a video, is just all out great. The way that Isaiah uses a sing-songy flow to express his pain and emotional issues works perfectly. The beat is sampled from a song called Lord Hold Me in Your Arms, and is by a group called The Crowns of Glory. Simply put, it's a beautiful, inspiring type of sound, and Snow the Product also has a song that samples that, and it features Sci-Hi and is called Hold You Down. That's just a bit of trivia for you. So if you like this song, you might want to check that one out, and vice versa, just because the beat is essentially the same, uses the same sample anyway. Lyrically, I found the song to be very powerful as Isaiah raps about depression, cutting himself to cope with the pain, suicidal thoughts, issues with his father once again, and much more. And on the hook, a sad and airy female voice asks where God is during all of Isaiah's darkest, deepest times. The track is lyrically heavy, and yet the beat feels inspirational. So it was brilliant how Isaiah was able to blend dark lyricism with such an uplifting beat. So that's not every track, but all in all I give this album a 4.5 out of 5, which is actually the highest rating that I've ever given an album. What's so great about this project is the balance. The production is unique, and the album seamlessly blends smooth vibes and trunk rattlers. On top of that, Isaiah has a great way of expressing his personal thoughts and issues without coming across as forced or too preachy even. It just feels very natural. And the way he switches his vocals up according to how the beat sounds is very impressive, especially because even though he changes his voice, he still maintains a cohesive feel and sound to this album. Simply put, Cilvia Demo is close to perfect because it's only 14 tracks long, it has a ton of replay value, and none of these tracks feel out of place. Even the 3 or 4 songs that I didn't like that much weren't bad. They're still great songs that I don't skip, but the rest of the songs that I really like are just great. They're fantastic. I can listen to them at home, I like them in my headphones, I like them in my car. It's just a balanced and versatile album. So that's my review for Cilvia Demo. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. Did you like it as much as I like it? Do you think it's worthy of a 4.5 out of 5? Because if you don't like this, I'd be curious to know why you didn't like it. You can hit me up at luke@redmattersite.com if you want me to review an album, or if you're an indie artist and you want me to review your album. You can follow me on Twitter, retweet my videos, share them, like, comment, and I'll see you next time.